Is that all 35 or just one?
I think these are all parables of Jesus.
Okay.
What?
So is he Pentecost?
Yeah, he's an undercover Pentecostal. Okay, so I guess you're all ready for the. Huh?
So somebody outside the chat room.
Oh, yes.
Can we ask questions for Mark from the reading?
We'll actually come to the section which says questions and answers, because I still have a little bit more to cover. Can you write it down?
I have it right here, open book.
Okay.
Email it in.
Is that something we already discussed?
No.
Okay. Let's look through the keys in the book of Mark. Key word, or rather a phrase, would be Jesus the servant. And again, yellow is the color of mercy or judgment. Depends on what you do with it. Key verses are chapters 10, 43 through 45. And I'll read those for you. Pretty much the same one we discussed at the beginning. Extended version. 43 through 35. Through 45. But it is not so among you, but whoever wishes to become great among you shall be your servant. And whoever wishes to be first among you shall be slave of all. For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life a ransom for many. And these are words of Jesus Christ himself, because they're in red in the manuscript. And in my version. And also, chapter 8, verses 34 through 37. 34 through 37. And he summoned the multitude with his disciples and said to them, if anyone wishes to come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whoever wishes to save his life shall lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake and the gospel's shall save it. For what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and to forfeit his soul? For what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? So these are key verses. And of course, key chapter is chapter 8, where these words were taken from.
What does that mean, take out your cross?
Oh, that's going to create a long philosophical
You don't have like a snappy one?
No, it would be snappy, but it's not going to be conclusive.
A one sentence?
Yeah.
That'd be
One
long.
sentence commentaries. Stay away from those.
That'd be a long sentence.
Okay, so how do we see Christ presented in Mark? The Lord is presented as an active, compassionate, and obedient servant who constantly ministers to the physical and spiritual needs of others. And the term immediately, or in Greek euthos, appears 42 times in this gospel and nowhere as frequently elsewhere in the whole Bible. Are you done writing? No. Okay, moving on.
No, you're not.
Will it be available to download
just using all of our
Before
learning
Sunday.
possible.
Probably. Well, you have too.
Is that how you, is it euthus or euthos?
Euthus.
I thought you did Greek, Greg.
Yeah, but I didn't know if that was the correct pronunciation or the accepted pronunciation.
He passed the course.
Only because of Chad. Wasn't the teacher.
Or course passing by. I don't know which one.
I think you got it right there. That's talking about Greek or Hebrew or both?
Well, which one do you want to pick?
Either would work there.
Okay, and this is of course a portrait of Christ. Picture sent to me by email.
By email.
By Christ himself.
From passion.com. But it's an interesting, very thoughtful look on Jesus' face in this particular representation, in the first instance, and then very disappointed look or sad look on the right side. I don't think Jesus will look like that anymore in the eyes of people.
But he still has holes in his hands.
Yes, he does, yeah.
I had to see that movie 3 times, 'cause every time I went, my kids are like, so did you see that? Like the thing about the hole in his hands? I'm like, I didn't see that. So I had to see the whole new time, and then I never saw the bit where the snake goes through his nose there.
What?
There's the,
Satan.
yeah,
Through the Satan's nose. Huh?
but through Jesus' nose. See?
What? What?
Heresy.
Did you have too much tartar sauce?
The Satan is played by a daughter of one of the very famous
That was a
Italian
girl?
singers, Adriana Celentano.
That was a girl
Yeah,
who played it?
she's a girl. Her father is a bass singer. Very, very famous in Italy.
How would you read for that role?
Huh?
How would you read for that role?
Read.
Yeah, you go home and like, hey Dad, landed the Satan part. I mean, even if you don't believe it, that's kind of
Only
weird.
part she could qualify for.
Maybe he was typecast.
And why do they make woman a Satan?
Hey, I have the theology. I got the knowledge about that.
Even when it said
We're all started.
Oh,
Wow.
you see, we touch up with some topics here, huh?
Whoa.
Some controversial. Contributions to the Bible. The gospel continuously makes emphasis on action more than on words, because a lot of Jewish people knew that you can talk the talk, but unless you walk the walk, you can't prove that you truly believe in something or stand for something. Same was about Romans and Greeks. Actions speak louder than words. Almost in any civilization. Mark uses 18 out of the 70 parables in his gospel. So this book that I just showed you, the parables of Jesus, will include all 70 parables, most likely. Yes, Greg?
I thought there was only 35 parables.
Miracles.
Oh, miracles.
Yeah. Sometimes when people listen, they
Parables, miracles, it's all the same.
you can pull out the knife out of your side.
It is, it's like right in my kidney too.
You see, it's right there. Next point. Over half of Christ's 35 miracles.
I'm just ahead of you, that's all.
Oh, let's see. Yeah. And as far as we're looking at the sentence structure or linguistic properties of the book, Mark uses a lot of broken sentences. They abruptly end without any continuing thought. You know why? Because when people do something, let's say you're in the construction business, when you're doing something, you speak very abruptly, right? Because you're either lifting up something heavy or you're doing really something important, and you yell to the guy, "Oh, throw me a hammer," or "give me a 16-10 nails," and so on. So when you're in action, you speak less. Watch action movies with Arnold Schwarzenegger. He says very few.
Among us, just can't speak.
He's busy acting.
I'll be back.
Come on.
Hasta la vista, baby.
He's bilingual.
Okay.
Consider this a divorce.
Where's that from?
Total Recall.
Okay.
Oh.
He uses a lot of colloquialisms as well. There are a lot of extra expressions or redundant expressions that probably reflect Peter's thinking and his expression of thought, judging by Peter's character. Mark uses historic present tense 151 times in this considerably short book, creating this atmosphere of ongoing action. It's not happened or will happen, it is happening right now. As you read the book, it is happening as you read it. And he records a wide range of emotional reactions to Jesus, which is very important because I think the first reaction that we ever have in relation to somebody or something is an emotional reaction. And that would influence our perception or acceptance or rejection of whether it's individual or thing or song or whatever. The way we felt emotionally in that minute when we were introduced to the subject of the discussion, that's probably the way we'll perceive the subject for the rest of our lives unless something drastic happens. This is the copy of medieval script of the Gospel of Mark from the British Library. Some illumination was used, and I think it's Rotunda script. Huh?
Yeah, that's in Latin.
Yeah, it's in Latin.
Is that a J on the left? Gigantic J.
Yes. Incipit Evangelium secundum Marcum. That's the inscription with big letters. I can't read the small ones. Huh?
Is there a J in Latin? There's no J in Italian.
It
So
starts.
that might be an I.
Yeah, it might be.
No, come on.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, that
in,
goes all the way down.
that's in the
Probably an
beginning. So it's an I,
Yeah.
but it's easily converted to J.
The little hook.
There's no J in it.
Huh?
There's no J in Greek.
Yeah, I know.
There's no J in Italian.
I'm just speculating. I'm a calligrapher, so I can make it an I.
He makes it what he wants.
Yeah.
The survey of Mark is very simple, 2 parts. To serve, 1 through 10, and to sacrifice, 11 through 16. It's not to protect and to serve. It's to